All right, guys. This just in, we're going to go ahead and talk about it in this video. So we have another error that's been found on the brand new 2022 Washington quarters. Most specifically, it's the Sally Ride reverse. This is the new American Women's series of quarters. So the Sally Ride is the second installment of this new program the U.S. Mint had released for the next 4 years. So this is a pretty big one here. We're going to talk about it. We have all of the available overlays and other information that you guys need to know about. We had talked about this evening on the live coin Q&A show. This was originally brought to our attention by one of our patrons, and a pretty significant one, considering that the 2022 Lincoln Shield Cent has seen a pretty substantial error in itself that's selling really well in the secondary market. So as soon as it was found, it was straight to the banks, all hands on deck. Let's go ahead and see if we could find more of them. And since then, a lot of people have been finding them. A lot of people have been cashing in on these errors. But now we got our first one on the Washington quarters. I would say it was only going to be a matter of time before one of these were going to be discovered. And fortunately, we at the live coin Q&A panel were fortunate enough to have this individual send us their breakout discovery for us to share, and we did that on our live stream. But we're doubling down on this quarter by showing it also on the Blue Ridge Silverhound channel as well, so that way you guys can kind of keep your eyes peeled on this. There is currently no secondary market activity because the coin that you see on screen is indeed the only example to have been found. So, I don't know. It's fresh. It's fresh out there. This is fresh news. So, another thing to keep in mind, and, you'll see my mouse pointer throughout the presentation here. It's on a 2022 P. It's a Philadelphia minted coin, and this is what we're going to be focusing on. All right, so this is what we're coming across on the Sally Ride quarters. We actually have an example right here, and it's much stronger on the reverse, but you could see what appears to be some clash dies, all right, happening here. Very nice, very well detailed, very robust clashing. You can even see some elements on the clashing on the obverse as well. You could see right here underneath Washington's chin and Adam's apple area is going to be another little bit of clash. There's even a little bit here behind the ear, and there's a couple tiny little spikes coming out of the bottom of the ear that's also associated with the clash. And I would say this little line right here that you see that might actually look like a part of the hair, that's also another part of the clash too. As far as what we're seeing on the obverse, it's not as strong as what we're seeing on the reverse, where you have pretty much the full profile of George Washington clashed on the reverse dies. All right, and these coins were subsequently produced as a result of this, and it's showing just what appears to be a very nice early stage or early die state rather of the clash, because it's so strong. It's so the outlining is wonderful on here. So this is one of the earlier pieces produced after the dies had clashed together. And of course, you guys who aren't familiar with what clash dies are, just pretend like the striking chamber was completely empty, and then the movement of the hammer die tapped to the anvil die, therefore leaving subsequent impressions of the reverse images on the obverse die, and then vice versa. Just an error. There was no blank planchet in the striking chamber when a strike occurred. Therefore, we're left with probably one of the most visually stunning type of errors that you'll come across. To kind of isolate things here with just a reverse, because this is where a lot of the strongest die clashing is going to occur. So Again, you have this pretty prominent clash line right here, which looks to be the ponytail of Mr. George Washington. And then you have right here, which could be his nose. And then you come down here, you see his lips, and then his Adam's apple area, and then the bottom of the bust right there. Amanda had done some overlays and other different types of things, and she has come to the conclusion that there's about a 7 or 8 degree rotation here. So there was a little bit of rotation on one of the dies when the clashing occurred. So it's going to be a little bit rotated. One thing to keep in mind about this particular coin is that there is a little bit of damage on here, and I'm not sure if this is as a result of this coin being like a roll ender. So it's not the cleanest example, but however, the areas in the fields with the die clashing has remained relatively undisturbed, which is good. All right, it is a very strong example right here. Here are the images with the overlays, okay, just so you could kind of see how everything kind of matches up here. So one of our panel members had done this overlay, and that's pretty much taking a transparent version of the obverse picture, rotating it 180 degrees, and then overlaying it onto the reverse image, and that's how we get the kind of the retrospective clashing appearance of what we're looking at here. So like here you see this line here. This is actually the ponytail detail, and then you'll see the nose right here. The tip of the nose would be this area here. The lips come here where these lines are, and then you have the bottom of the or under the chin to the throat area. Very strong, but that for the most part is what we're going to be looking for here. There might be other earlier die states where it exhibits a lot stronger clash on the obverse and not just the reverse. So that's going to be another thing that we all kind of have to keep our eyes peeled and see if that does indeed exist out there. Ideally, finding one that doesn't have the what I call the ring of death, and that's just the part of the packaging of these in the paper rolls, where you have the crimper part of the machine that actually digs into the coin as it's crimping that end. Which at the same time, it's very unfortunate, but I'm sure there's going to be people that are going to be aiming for clean examples, like in the middle of a roll or something. But yeah, this is yet another coin to be on the lookout for on the brand new 2022 Washington quarters. The new Wilma Mankiller will be out this week, so be on the lookout for those. More shenanigans, I'm sure, we're going to see from that particular release. And we've seen die chips. We've seen, and by the way, this is a little spoiler, there has been a doubled die that has been discovered on one of the American Women's series of quarters that was also submitted to the live coin Q&A group. That person is being referred to a couple of the main attributors, and the moment that we get an attribution number, I will be showing you guys that as well. All right, and let you guys know that this is a coin that is indeed in play. So we've had a number of very significant error coins that have surfaced directly from this program, from the wild, crazy, field-restricted strike-throughs to the die chips to even a little bit of a reverse cut on the Maya Angelou quarters. And then now we have this clash die. And then for the first time, we are within days of finding out what that attribution number is for the very first known doubled die American Women quarter is going to be. And I'll let you guys know. I'm not going to spoil it completely and let you guys know which one it is. We're just going to wait for all the information to come in from one of the attributors and partners, and we'll roll from there. And then we'll get you guys the news as it's made available. But there you go. That's your news break for this one. Thank you guys again for joining in on this video. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to not only this channel, by God, Blue Ridge Silverhound has been around for a while, but go ahead and check out the live coin Q&A channel as well. We are always looking for more views. That channel should be a lot bigger than it is right now, and thank you to everyone who is a part of that channel as well. But also realize I have a TikTok too. Oh, that's cute. But go ahead and check me out there also. It's just Blue Ridge Silverhound, all one word. Type it in and come visit. We're starting to get some videos and views on there for you guys to check out. Nice, short, 30, 40-second videos that I'm sure you guys will appreciate. But that's going to go ahead and do it for this one. It was a pleasure, and I will see you guys on the next coin video. All right, go out there and hunt for this thing. See ya.